So, Lynna, I understand you have what's the right way to say it? An acne problem with the scalp. Do I have that right?
I've never had a doctor actually say that it's acne on my scalp.
Okay.
There are sores, cysts, that show up and never heal. I have been to a dermatologist. I've been to several doctors, tried different medicines, over the counter and prescription, and nothing seems to get rid of this.
Okay. To my eye, as I look at you, they're not apparent. So I gather they're inside your hair. You dig for them and that kind of stuff.
Yes, although in the last year, I've also been experiencing thinning of my hair, which I believe might be related, and my panicked feeling that, oh my goodness, what happens when my hair all falls out and these sores are visible to
Ah,
everyone?
okay,
And I think that's a big component to this.
okay. Just to give me and those listening in some perspective on this because we can't see it.
Mhm.
If all of a sudden your hair were shaved off, what would we see?
I believe you would see red areas. They probably look like pimples.
Uh-huh.
Um, some would be red. The ones that are older would maybe not be red, just a scab, for lack of a
Uh-huh.
better word.
And would we see five of them, 30 of them?
Oh goodness! At any one time, probably more like 30.
Okay. So 30, roughly the size of a dime, maybe?
Some are that big, some are smaller.
Okay. Dime would be the largest, I guess?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So,
And I've also been experiencing this on my face as well.
oh, okay, because that's not apparent at all.
Smoke and mirrors,
Smoke and mirrors
makeup.
and cosmetics, I see. Okay. All right. So you've had it how long?
Probably the better part of 5 years.
5 years. Okay.
Yes.
And you mentioned the doctors don't really call it that, but I gather you've seen doctors
I've
and they,
seen regular doctors. I've seen dermatologists. I've seen energy healers. I've seen acupuncturists. I've done long-term antibiotics. I've tried steroid creams. I've tried homeopathic medications.
okay.
I've tried herbal preparations. I I'm a good researcher, and I cannot think of a thing that I haven't tried.
Okay. And have you gotten any results other than maybe something temporary out of any of them?
No, there was a period of time that I would estimate to be about 6 months in duration where it disappeared,
Oh, okay.
and I have no explanation for why that happened. I thought it was gone and it was behind me,
Hmm.
and about 6 months ago, it came back with a vengeance.
So you've had it for 5 years, and after about 4 years, it went away.
Right?
You don't know why.
For
And
a few
then,
months, yes.
yeah, and then 6 months later, here it comes again. Okay.
Yes.
Well, all right. I did not hear in there anywhere that you tried EFT on it, but I gather you did.
I did. I mainly would use EFT on it when I was at the end of my rope. And what I would use it, where I would direct my EFT was the feelings that I had about having this. So I was
Oh,
soothing myself, trying to calm myself, for lack of a better word, through using EFT.
okay. So you were getting anxious about the issue,
Uh,
and you would
that's
use,
an understatement. Yes.
okay. I think when we talked on the phone, did you not use the term desperation?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
Desperate.
So you would use it for that emotional response to
Yes.
it. Okay. But you didn't, if I hear it right, you didn't aim EFT at the issue itself.
No. I don't know if that's resistance or lack of direction. I don't really have an answer for that.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. So So what I want to do is give you some guidelines, as to where you may go. But I want to explore a little bit more first, because see, I'm always looking for the cause.
Right.
The things you talk about, the medical stuff and the acupuncture and all the other things, these things tend to be aimed at the symptom. Okay, and the symptom is you've got all this stuff on your scalp. Okay, that's the symptom, but it's there for a reason. And while I'm not a doctor or anything, typically the medical profession would think it's some kind of imbalance in the chemistry in your body, and so they use drugs and whatever. Okay.
My experience has been that it's your body trying to get your attention.
Well, that's another way to look at it. But the cause that I look forward is either energetic,
Mm-hmm.
or more likely, and something also related, is an emotional issue. Somehow or other they show up because you're dealing with an emotional issue which has a physical manifestation. Some people, have back pain, and some people have headaches and rashes and one thing or another. You've got something on your scalp. At least that would be our approach. So we want to look for what might be an emotional goodie in there that we need to resolve that. And now the cause, at least in our estimation, is out of the way, and take the cause away and the symptom leaves. Okay. So the first question I would have to ask you is, 5 years ago when this started, was there an emotional thing going on in your life?
The only thing that I can think of really that happened 5 years ago was I was at my very lowest point. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia back in 1992, and I was having a very bad flare-up, was at my lowest point. I was actually physically sick in bed, couldn't get up, that sick. I happened to stumble upon the movie The Secret, and I learned about the law of attraction. Within 24 hours, I'm researching on the internet, and I stumbled upon the EFT website, and I learned about EFT. And things started resolving and happening for me then. That was the big thing that happened to me 5 years ago.
So
Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt you, but you learned EFT, you applied it to your fibromyalgia.
Yes.
With success.
With some success, yes.
Okay. Are you
I wouldn't say that I'm cured from it, but yes, I had success.
Okay. You have fibromyalgia as we speak.
Yes, I have some symptoms, yes.
Okay. So, as you may know, we have cases where EFT has been diligently applied, persistently applied, and skillfully applied to fibromyalgia, and it has disappeared or all but disappeared. Okay.
Yes.
Yours hasn't done that. So there might be something in the way you're applying it we want to go after. But the emotional issue we're talking about, to me, the fibromyalgia would be a symptom. Okay. So if there was an emotional issue behind that fibromyalgia, what might it be?
Well, that's the 64,000 question. If I knew that, I could cure this.
Okay. Well, we're just exploring. So that's
right.
The first thing we do is we ask a question or two.
So you want me to play first thing that comes to my mind?
However you want to do it.
Ask me again.
Okay. If there was an emotional reason for the fibromyalgia, what might it be?
Frustration.
About?
I'm a perfectionist and a control freak, and if I don't have control over my world and my world, I get very frustrated and it makes me feel unsafe.
Okay. You have just pointed out an issue that many people have. Many people are perfectionists to one degree or another. We all want to control the world around. We don't want it to control us, for example. And so what my intuition says, but I need to have you correct me because I'm not you, okay? My intuition says there may not be a specific event that directly caused the fibromyalgia or the scalp thing. It may well be something going clear back to childhood where we have insecurities. We need to, and join the crowd, by the way, okay? But where we have insecurities, we need to control the world. If it doesn't work the way we want it to, we get frustrated. We have a lot of internal turmoil. That takes a lot of our energy. It reduces our immune system as a result because it's got to work on those conflicts as well. And when that happens, stuff like fibromyalgia happens. Unexplained scalp things happen, and so on. Okay? So how am I doing?
Obviously, you hit it right on the head.
Okay. So, we're not going to have a 1 minute wonder, are we?
No.
Because we have likely a whole series of specific events, things that have happened, and would be my guess there are maybe a parent or two parents or a brother or someone in your world who smothered you or
abandoned
you or took away your control or gave you insecurities or you picked up insecurities from it and so on. So we need to resolve all of that. Now, once that gets resolved and we have peace inside, it would be my speculation, it would be my experience. The fibromyalgia is going to fade because the cause will fade. So will this.
And it's funny because after we spoke earlier today, all these ideas, all these things were coming to me at this high rate of speed. And one of the things that came to me was I've been doing some pretty intense work on myself for the last 12 to 18 months. And the thought occurred to me that as I continue clearing my issues, everything else will clear as well.
Yes. And it's also just common sense. If you take care of the cause, the symptom goes away. I mean, that's
right.
Hello, kind of thing, you know. So, but I want to explore one little bit more. When you used EFT on your fibromyalgia and had some success, okay, can you remember how you did it? For example, even though I what?
I don't remember anything specific like that, but I can tell you one thing that's very interesting is I've read a lot of case studies about people who have used fibromyalgia or EFT for fibromyalgia.
Yes.
And a lot of them work on specific symptoms. They might work on pain. They might work on some symptom of fibromyalgia.
Yes.
I never, ever worked on a symptom.
What did you do?
I simply started doing the personal peace procedure and working on my emotions and how I felt about having fibromyalgia.
Okay, so, but I want to clarify something. We may have a different view or understanding of a personal peace procedure is.
Okay.
So personal procedure is one where we itemize, we make a list of important terms, specific events in our life. Okay, not my mother or my father abandoned me. That's not a specific event.
Right.
The time my mother left me at the bus station for 4 hours is a specific event.
Right.
Okay, that's much different. Okay, so we deal with the specific events. rather than, I forgot how you worded it a minute ago, but how you felt about it.
Right. I guess the point I was trying to make was that I didn't say, I didn't work on the fact that I have widespread muscular pain.
Okay. Yeah.
I wrote down what I thought my issues were from childhood forward. I list upon list upon list.
And what might that list have looked like? Give me a phrase or two.
Oh, my grandfather dying when I was young, leaving the church that I was raised in, my parents shunning me.
Okay, let me stop you right there. Let's take those for a moment. I'll take the last one first. My parents shunning me. Now that may seem like something specific. After all, it's your parents, and they are shunning you. Okay, but and you can.
You want me to get more specific?
Yeah, what I'm saying is, if that's how you dealt with it, you're not dealing specific enough, and that's why you didn't get complete results. You were dealing with the label for the problem rather than the specific events. If your parents shunned you, that's the larger picture. What you want to get.
Wish I had my notes in front of me.
Well, that's okay. We're just discussing this now. So, but you want to get to a point where, specific events would be like, not my parents shunned me, but when I was 7 years old, my parents would leave me alone in the house on a Saturday afternoon, all by myself, and while they went to a baseball game. Okay, that's a specific event. And that's what gives rise to the feeling of my parents shunned me. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. The other things you listed were also more generalized. So you need to get down to the specific. If you get to the specific events, then you are taking the table legs out from underneath the tabletop, if you're familiar with that metaphor.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
And I'm sure I did work on specific events.
Yes.
But I can't recall them to tell you what they are.
Okay. All right.
It was 5 years ago when I started this.
Sure. It would be my speculation, however, just from the way you're wording things, the chances are if you were more specific still, you would get deeper and deeper results because you're getting closer and closer to the bare metal cause
right.
of what's going on. Okay.